Now at 10, a lot of buzz in the 4 states. We're going to hear from local beekeepers about a wave of bees coming into the area. Plus, details of how a historic theater in Columbus, Kansas will get a new life. And football is back, sort of. Highlights from Pitt State's annual spring game.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Aurora and Marionville police say they've made an arrest in the armed robbery of the Eagle Stop convenience store. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. On Monday, authorities say a man entered the Eagle Stop store in Aurora, displayed a handgun, and demanded the clerk give him money. The man then fled in a light-colored SUV. Authorities have since arrested Dustin Lampier on suspicion of committing that robbery. He's been charged with first-degree robbery, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a warm one for us today. Temperatures, they went all the way up into lower 80s during the afternoon. 82, we started at 54 during the morning. We should be topping out at 69, so a good chunk above where we should be for this time of the year. We have been seeing a few scattered showers, a couple little thunder showers, but the big guys are out to the west of Wichita. And this back band here that is developing could eventually drive through southeastern Kansas, but this is hours and hours away. Until then, most of us are going to be dry. You can see a few spotty showers which have popped up across the region. Temperatures still warm, upper 60s, low to mid 70s once you get out across southeastern Kansas. A little windy today. We had gusts 25 to 30 at times. As we go through the night, we only drop back into lower 60s. We do have that threat for thunderstorms. We'll talk about that here in a bit.
See you soon. Bee swarm season is here, and some residents around the 4 states might be noticing groups of hundreds of bees near their properties. KOAM's Yana Hautala visited some area beekeepers and their hives to learn more about the influx of bees.
Joplin area beekeepers say around this time, the old queen and half of the current bees are leaving their hive to look for a new place to make it home.
Early spring, yeah, once the queen in January or so will start laying a bunch of eggs or laying up, and the population gets so big in the hive that's one of the triggers for them to swarm.
Phil McGowan, vice president of Joplin Area Beekeepers Association, says if residents notice a swarm on their yard, they can ask for help from police department or animal control, or ask the local beekeepers to come and take them, since bee prices can be high.
We call a nucleus colony, which is 5 frames of bees, a good laying queen. It's going to cost you around $200. So free bees have a significant impact for people.
Jill Carr, president of the beekeepers, says as a beekeeper, it is important at this time to check your hives and divide them so they don't overcrowd and swarm off.
I have taken those frames and have made small nuke boxes. He was talking about nucleus, and I have made smaller boxes out of them, hoping that I can make some more hive boxes. You just have to start off small.
McGowan says if a hive swarms, a lot of times they can be taken back. He says they tend to stay close by the hive at first because the queen has not been flying a lot.
Her muscles for flying aren't really well developed, so a lot of times you'll see them maybe 10 or 15 foot from the original hive, and they'll go in just small increments. Once she's used to flying, then they can take off and go quite a few places.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Beekeepers remind you not to spray or kill bees if you see swarms. Bees will start producing honey soon, and the harvesting will start around June. The historic Liberty Theater in Columbus, Kansas is getting a chance at a new life. With not a lot of options for housing, this building will be renovated into 6 loft apartments. A local resident saw the potential in the building and wanted to save it and turn it into housing for the town.
I think there's a lot of buzz happening right now around town, and so it's really neat to be able to contribute to that, but then to also offer people a space that will be used in the community and needed, and to give somebody the chance to kind of live here and work here and join the community here is really neat.
The building will have 4 2-bedroom and 2 1-bedroom apartments. Construction is set to begin next month. The Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas in Fort Scott is beginning their move to a new location. More than 100 employees will be moving into the new building set to open on Monday. The new location will have services including primary care, walk-in care, behavioral health care, a pharmacy, and other specialty services.
Overall, it just gives us the ability to reach our community, not even just for healthcare. We have a food pantry, we have community health workers that help with benefit enrollments and housing and stuff like that. So it's definitely an opportunity to improve our community and reach out to anybody that needs anything.
The new building is at 2322 South Main Street. Local high schoolers rang out their best notes today at Missouri Southern. The university hosted an all-day vocal clinic called Acapalooza. It was a chance for the students to work on their singing and hear from some professionals. Ragtime groups, jazz musicians, and some barbershop quartets performed at the event.
They've been provided the music that is fit for kids. It's some popular music like Still the One or Lullaby. And they've been working on the music. And in working on the music, the workshop will not only emphasize accuracy, vocal production, all the things that you would do to be a great singer.
That event was in the recently reopened Taylor Auditorium. Coming up, the suspect arrested for allegedly leaking classified Pentagon documents makes his first court appearance. Plus, lawsuit settlements in Minneapolis in connection with the officer who killed George Floyd. The Massachusetts Air National Guardsman accused of leaking classified documents online made his first court appearance today. He remains in jail tonight. Reporter Willie James Inman has more on the case from the White House.
21-year-old Jack Teixeira has been behind bars since federal agents descended on his mother's home south of Boston Thursday. He did not enter a plea in a federal courtroom where he was officially charged with violating the Espionage Act for removing and transmitting classified materials.
People who sign agreements to be able to receive classified documents acknowledge the importance to the national security of not disclosing those documents.
Teixeira is accused of bringing home the top secret documents, photographing them, and then posting them online in a private gaming chat room as early as December.
This is about the transmission, both the unlawful retention and the transmission of the documents. There are very serious penalties associated with that.
Teixeira was assigned to cyber defense operations. Now there are questions about why he was allowed to access the classified documents.
I cannot think of a compelling reason, and I assume Secretary Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs Milley are probably asking those same questions.
Court documents allege that Teixeira used his security clearance to search for classified information about the investigation into the leaker. His family did not comment outside the courthouse.
You said I love you to your son in court. Is there anything you'd like to say now?
Teixeira is scheduled to be back in court on Wednesday. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden says he's directing the military and intelligence communities to secure and limit the distribution of sensitive information. The city of Minneapolis is paying nearly $9 million to settle 2 lawsuits alleging more violent behavior from the officer who went on to kill George Floyd. Derek Chauvin is currently serving a 22-year sentence for his role in Floyd's death and a 21-year sentence for violating Floyd's rights. Now, disturbing body cam footage has been released from 2 more violent arrests in 2017. And allegations his actions against Floyd were part of a pattern. The Supreme Court is keeping in place federal rules for the use of the abortion drug mifepristone, at least temporarily. Justice Samuel Alito issued an administrative stay late this afternoon, blocking lower court rulings that set restrictions on access to the abortion pill case until next week to give both sides time to weigh in. The Biden administration and the drug's maker asked the justices to intervene after a conservative federal appeals court panel imposed new restrictions Wednesday on access to the drug. A little bit later, we're going to check on Neosho's citywide garage sale.
Plus, we're also tracking some thunderstorms tonight into tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a warm, breezy Friday. We had fantastic weather all week long, really 70s and 80s every single day today into the lower 80s for afternoon highs. We are tracking some thunderstorms out across southeastern Kansas that we're going to keep our eyes on for later on tonight. It's going to be quiet for the next several hours, but things will start to pick up a little bit later on tonight. We've had a few scattered little light showers kind of pushing through, nothing strong or nothing severe, just kind of hit and miss little showers, a couple little downpours right along the state line. In fact, we'll zoom in, you can see one little shower just to the southwest of Neosho, kind of up toward Carthage, a couple little more showers over toward Lamar. But the big boys, they're out here. Now, this line is mainly hail and wind, but you can see now it's becoming kind of a bowing structure just to the north of Wichita. And this is going to drive east and eventually southeast. I think once it gets into southeastern Kansas, it will start to weaken, but we are going to get some storms in here late tonight. We're talking 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures right now, most of us are still sitting upper 60s to lower 70s. Looks good. Here's 7th and Rangeline. It's still 71. Southerly winds at 10. Our dew point's at 48. And because it's not in the 50s yet, or at least 55, that is one reason that the storms will weaken. It just doesn't have the energy that they need. But we are going to get some thunderstorms in here. Southerly winds still kind of breezy tonight at about 10 to 20. We'll drop back into lower 60s for overnight lows. Severe threat, at least until midnight, is mainly out to our west, very far western counties. Now, as we get into tomorrow, as these storms kind of drive in, we do have a low severe threat with storms developing tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon, right along the state line of Kansas and Missouri. I think storms will get going and quickly push east and quickly become severe. But in southwestern Missouri, we may get a few severe thunderstorms, kind of 1, 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's go through time. Let's watch this band out to the west. Here it comes driving in. So here's 4 a.m., but it does kind of weaken as it pushes in. But I think we'll get rain into Fort Scott, Nevada, Pittsburgh, Lamar, maybe even some rain into the Joplin metro late tonight. Tomorrow morning, we quickly warm up. So let's go to noon. Here's our cold front. Already some thunderstorms starting to pop up. Now watch this as it drives east. We could get a couple severe storms. You can see this model's progging a few severe storms popping up, and then this line will explode as it pushes through. So we're not going to have much severe weather, but we can't rule out a random severe thunderstorm as we go into tomorrow early afternoon. Then the severe weather really gets going as it pushes east. Behind it, we will actually start to cool down quite a bit. And Sunday's going to be nice. It's just going to be quite a bit cooler. All right, 77 tomorrow. Again, some scattered thunderstorms late tonight and a few pop-up storms early afternoon. Then we drop to 40 tomorrow night, 61 on Sunday, down to 39 on Monday morning. So we're right above that frost level. Thunderstorms again Tuesday, Wednesday, and especially Thursday and Friday of next week. And that should be a more widespread rain where it's a lot more beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, we need the rain.
Yeah,
it is
we do.
spring. Thanks, Doug. It's billed as Missouri's largest garage sale. Neosho's annual citywide garage sale kicked off today. It resumes tomorrow. The Chamber of Commerce estimates more than 400 sales are scattered all across the Neosho area. A vendor we talked to says it's also a chance for the community to reconnect.
Always a good time, all of us together during the day, just sitting here for 2 days, catching up and reminiscing about things, and while making money in the process so we can go out and buy more clothes.
Different vendors open and close at different times. Some sales began as early as 6 this morning. Some sellers plan another early start tomorrow. Now, one of the things to keep in mind if you're going to the garage sale is to stay safe. There are going to be a lot of cars on the roads this weekend in Neosho, and police say you should triple check when crossing the street.
We've got one additional car out working specifically traffic accidents, because we do have more cars in town. We're more apt to have traffic crashes.
Police also emphasize the importance of being patient due to the possibility of bumper-to-bumper traffic. Some say people sometimes stop in the middle of the road just to look at stuff, so watch out. The Neosho Chamber of Commerce is in charge of organizing the state's largest garage sale each year. In addition to registering the sales, they also keep up a map of sale locations. The sale indirectly brings in revenue to the city government.
There's not sales tax for the sales. Where we do see a spike in sales tax during this weekend, and that's because there's so many people that are coming and shopping, getting gas, eating at the fast food restaurants, spending money here in our businesses that do charge sales tax.
You can learn more about the vendors and locations at KOAMnewsnow.com. Still ahead, Missouri Southern softball aims to stay at the top of the MIAA standings, hosting a doubleheader against Washburn. And Pitt State football finishes up their spring schedule with the team's annual spring game. Jacob Linder's join us with that and more coming up.
Well, tonight is the end of spring ball for the Pittsburg State Gorillas. The Gorillas wrap up their spring schedule tonight with their annual spring game at Carney Smith Stadium. Now it's offense against defense tonight for PSU. The defense makes plays early. This is Antoine Nunn Jr. comes up with the interception on the deep ball. Guys in red up early. The offense responds. Local guy here, St. Paul product Adam Albertini. Goes about 15 yards for the touchdown. Now Darius Bowers in at quarterback. Scrambles out and finds another local guy, Jaden Hill. Guys from Grove, Oklahoma there, hauling a touchdown pass. Then Ty Pennington, redshirt freshman at quarterback. Moves to his right, slings it to Damon Garrison. That's another touchdown for the offense. But this one goes to the defense tonight. Check it out. Off the tip pass, Dominique Shellman gets the interception and heads the other way. Close game all night, but the defense comes out on top, 25-22.
Those takeaways, that's everything, because that builds the momentum, and that just continues to help us, give some energy to the offense. And that complementary football is everything that's going to help this team be as amazing as we want to be. And, once we're able to do that in all phases, offense, defense, and special teams, that's when we come dominating, and, no one's going to be able to stop us.
Kind of a great way to end the spring. We've been working really hard, these 14, 15 practices, whatever it is, and to kind of get out here and top it off like that felt really good. Felt good to get moving and get hit a little bit.
Well, Pittsburg State and Central Missouri baseball were the top two teams in the MIAA preseason poll back in January. And so far, that's the way it's played out. Central Missouri is in first place in the conference with a 19-5 league record. Pitt State is one game behind them at 18-6 in the conference. The Gorillas and Mules kick off a big three-game series tonight in Pittsburgh. Zach Shoemaker, the Aurora, Missouri kid, on the mound for Pittsburg State. We'll start in the top of the fourth. Shoemaker out there. He ends the inning on a strikeout. Then top of the sixth. It's another one going down swinging. Then he gets the next batter to swing and the strikeout. Shoemaker fired up after this one. He goes 6 innings and strikes out 10. The Gorillas held scoreless in the first 4 innings, but the bottom of the 5th down 2-1. Nixon Brannon takes ball 4 with the bases loaded. Run scores, game tied at 2, and next batter Carson Coffey makes him pay with a swing and a drive. No doubter there. Grand slam by Carson Coffey gives Pitt State a 6-2 lead. Gorillas take game 1 over UCM 6-5 to pull into a tie for first place with the Mules. The Missouri Southern Lions also in action tonight. 17th ranked the Lions open a 3-game set against Newman. And that one, Missouri Southern rolls big 14-4. Matt Miller homers and drives in 5. Cole Woods, another good outing, going 6 innings with 11 strikeouts. Missouri Southern softball is in first place in the MIAA coming into the night. The Lions are 13-1 in conference play, and they've won 10 consecutive games. Now Southern at home for an important doubleheader this evening, hosting 20th ranked Washburn. On game 1, top of the first. First out of the game belongs to Josie Topai. She comes home with it. Lions get the out at home. 5th inning. Southern down 1-0. Abby DeSanto comes to the plate with the bases loaded. She gets the RBI walk there. Lions tie the game up at 1. Then next batter, Ashlyn Williams, comes up clutch for Missouri Southern. Base hit, line drive into right. That allows 2 runs to score. Lions take a 3-1 lead over Washburn with that, and that is enough. Lions win game 1 over the Ichabods 3-1. So in game 2, Missouri Southern trying to sweep the doubleheader, and that's exactly what they did. They win that one 3-1, and another good game for Ashlyn Williams. She goes 2 for 2 with a solo home run. Well, Pittsburg State softball kicks off an 8-game homestand tonight with a doubleheader against Emporia State. In game 1, 2nd inning, Caden Trokum. Through the left side, Keela Griffith comes in to score from third. Gorillas go up 2-0. Now, later in the second, Paxton Hayes with the bases loaded yanks it into the right field corner. Gracie Sullivan scores. Taylor Lambert right behind her, and Heather Arnett slides home. 3-run double for Hayes. It's 8-0 after 2. The third inning now, 2 on for Taylor Lambert. She goes opposite field, over the scoreboard, over everything out there. 3-run blast. Lambert 3 for 3, 4 RBIs in this one. Pitt State in control, but still not done. Same inning, bases loaded for Sophia Driver. She pulls one down the line. Arnett is in. Hayes scores as well. 3 RBIs in this game for Driver. Gorillas hammer Emporia State in game 1 today, 16-3. Now in the second half of the doubleheader, Gorillas aim to sweep Emporia State, but in that one it's the Emporia State bats catching fire. They win that one 13-8, but Kylie Boley gets a home run in that one for PSU. So spring game tonight for Pittsburgh State. The defense comes out on top, but it was close and competitive, and that's really what you want to see.
Who do you want to win in that game? You know,
Right.
Pitt State fans, they're pulling for
Pretty much
offense and the defense.
just for everybody to stay healthy.
I guess that's a good point. We'll be right back. Once again, that citywide garage sale resumes in Neosho tomorrow, and they're hoping for another nice day. Doug.
Yeah, we're going to have some overnight storms late tonight, but most of the day should be dry. We could get a few pop-up thunderstorms early afternoon, but they push out of the region very quickly. 77 for a high, cooler Sunday, but still nice. 61, 71 on Monday.
Final sports notes.
We showed you Pittsburgh State's spring game tonight. Missouri Southern will hit the field for their spring game at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
All kinds of stuff going on. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great weekend.